Welcome back to Amp Like a Pro, the course that teaches you how to build websites using the latest Google-created web design methodology called AMP. In today's segment, we're looking at building our very first AMP valid page. Let's do this. So in this first section, with amping your first page, please go over to sublimetext.com. We will be using the Sublime Text 3 text editor for the duration of this course. So press pause and go download it. Once you've installed it, let's continue the video. So we created a new document in Sublime Text 3, and we're just going to start in straight from the get-go. So we are doing a open bracket, exclamation doc type, space, HTML, close bracket. We must put the doc type in there for it to validate as an AMP page. And then open bracket HTML amp lang equals en and close bracket. Now the amp can be put in slightly differently. This is totally valid, but I like to use the lightning bolt because it's just a little bit cooler. So if you're running a Mac, go into System Preferences and go to your keyboard. And you're going to want to change your input sources to include a Unicode keyboard. So you click the plus button and scroll all the way down to the bottom. In the Others section, click Unicode hex input and add that keyboard type to your options. Also make sure that you have the Show Input menu in the menu bar so that you can access the Unicode keyboard easily up in the top. Once you've done that, then go and change over to the Unicode hex input. The reason we need to do this is so that we can access some alt codes. And now just type option 26A1 or alt 2681 if you're on a PC. And boom, we've got our lightning bolt. How sweet is that? Okay, switch back to the US keyboard and let's keep going, or whatever language you're coding in, but it's probably in English because this is an English class. So inside HTML, we need to put our head. I assume you know that your head is above your body, and that is the same in HTML. Inside our head, we need to put a few very specific items in order to maintain AMP validity. The first item is the meta character set. So it is open brackets meta space char set equals quote UTF-8 end quote close bracket. And then below that we'll put our title. So we'll go down one line and open bracket title close bracket, and obviously the title of this course, Amp Like a Pro, close title. And remember, for closing titles and other elements in HTML, we have to do a close bracket, open bracket, /, then the element name, and then close bracket. If you're doing Sublime Text, you just hit open bracket and then the / and it'll fill in the missing information. Next, we're going to go down and add our canonical link. So it is open bracket link, LINK, followed by space, and then rel, REL equals quote canonical, CANONICAL, and space, close quote, space href equals quote HTTPS : //amplikeapro.com, end quote, close bracket. The reason we have to put this in is because the canonical of a website is like the most important page. And with AMP, you could have a canonical be a really slow desktop version and an AMP version, which is really fast. And if they're on a mobile phone, they'll get served the AMP version in a search result by Google. But because this is a fully 100% AMP validated website, it is itself the canonical and the AMP version. And going ahead to the next line, we have the open /meta space name equals quote viewport end quote space content equals quote width equals device dash width comma minimum dash scale equals 1 comma initial dash scale scale equals 1 end quote close bracket. Those are carets or brackets depending on where you come from, so kind of use them interchangeably. Sorry for any confusion there. So the next thing we need to do is add a boilerplate. And the best way to do that is go to amp space project and amp dash boilerplate. Highlight that code right there from the ampproject.org and copy it, and then come back to Sublime Text, come back to our document, and just simply paste all of that in. Next, we need to add the script which calls the AMP stuff from Google. So we have an open bracket script space async space source src equals quote https://cdn.amp-project.org/v0.js end quote close bracket. And then we need to close the script with open bracket /script close bracket. And again, if you're using Sublime Text 3, the minute you hit that / after the open bracket, it will have closed it for you. We need to close the head. Now that we've got the head in place, we have the body. And inside the body, we'll just put a little heading 1. So open bracket body close bracket open bracket h1 close bracket amp like a pro, close that h1 with a open bracket /h1 close bracket. Then we need to close the body. We need to close the HTML and save our page. Let's go ahead and go to Save As and give it a name. And inside our folder, create a folder called Amp Like a Pro. And inside that folder, we're going to call this very first page index.html. Save it. Now, because it's HTML, Sublime Text knows how to color coordinate things. And then we can go open it in the Finder or in the actual folder and double click it. Should open up in Chrome. By the way, if you're not using Google Chrome, you need to. And there's our very first amp valid page. Now, reason I said you need to be using Google Chrome is because we will be using a lot of the developer tools extensions that are part of Google Chrome. And if you're using anything else, while they might have developer tools, they don't have everything that we will need necessarily. So again, just like I'm asking you to be using Sublime Text as your text editor, I'd like you to use Google Chrome for this course. Thanks a lot. You just created your very first AMP page. Congratulations.